Laheating. Hello everyone and welcome to my Queer channel. I'm your host Queer-chan, and today we are going to have a look at something a little bit different. As I mentioned in my recent update video, I just came back with my fiance from Celebration Europe in London. It was an absolutely superb weekend. I got such a fantastic haul of things, which of course I'm going to do in another video, but today we're going to have a look at one piece in particular from that haul. It was, of course, a Celebration exclusive, although I think they're actually doing, or rather they did them at Comic-Con this year as well. It's a fairly rare figure, all things considered, and unfortunately it's going to be an increasingly difficult figure to get your hands on in the next, I don't know how long, which I will explain in a little bit. So, without further ado, it is of course, as promised, the Unmasked Black Series Kylo Ren figure. Now, I realise that I haven't actually yet talked much about episode 7 on this channel, which is a bit of a mistake on my part. It's been out for, almost a year now, or better part of a year now. I really should have done an update video about it, discussing it, giving my thoughts about it, because all in all, I thought it was an absolutely bloody fantastic film. I went in expecting to hate it. I came out absolutely in love with it, and I will do a video like that at some point. I don't quite know how relevant it will be. Possibly a little bit more now that we've got Rogue One coming out in December. But anyway, that's for in the future. Today, as I said, we're going to have a look at this very, very special figure. Now, when the film first came out, I had a bit of mixed feelings about Kylo Ren. On the one hand, when I first saw it, I despised him because he killed Han Solo. In my mind, it's like, how dare you kill Han Solo? When he was battling with Rey, I was just, in my mind, I was like, yeah, get him, Rey, kill him. And I was even angry when that crack opened up in the ground at Starkiller Base, which prevented them... prevented me from choking. Sorry, beg your pardon. Which prevented them from finishing the battle. But I suppose it was actually needed. I mean, if they had killed off Kylo Ren in, in the first film, probably would not have been, the best move. He's so underdeveloped by this point, but he's got so much potential and so much growth to be had. I've got so many theories about him. I'll talk all about that in another video, perhaps when I do, as I say, my thoughts on episode 7. But either way, the point I'm trying to make is I hated him at first, simply because he killed Han Solo, but actually, as I watched the film more and more, he really grew on me. So much so that when my fiancé and I looked at the picture of the unmasked figure online before we went to Celebration Europe, we both basically had it in our minds there and then that we had to get one each. Now, actually getting the figure was a bit of a story in itself. Basically, to stand any chance of getting this figure, you had to be there at about 6 in the morning to queue up and get a ticket. At the Forbidden Planet booth where they were selling these, they would call ticket numbers throughout the day and you would go and get the figure. That was the only way you could get it for 3 days. One of our friends managed to get a second ticket thanks to his mother, who accompanied him. So basically, one of us was able to get one. Of course, it was my fiancé. He wanted it so much more than I did, so of course, naturally it had to be him. So we kept checking back just in case, and then finally, on the very last day, on the Sunday, there was about maybe an hour and a half left of the whole thing. I went over to the Forbidden Planet booth and I was just about to purchase the normal Kylo Ren figure for just to have something. And I was literally handing the guy there my money when I asked him, something popped in my head that just said, ask him, ask him. So I asked him, I know this is a futile question, but is there any chance you've got any Kylo Ren tickets left over? And he actually said to me, You don't need a ticket. We're going to open up a queue at 4 o'clock and we're going to start selling them. It was, by that point, it was about 3:45, so I ran to the queue and I was very close to the front. So I waited in that queue for about 15-20 minutes. While that was happening, there was even one of the Forbidden Planet guys coming along, and just a few guys behind me, he said, "Alright, from you chaps and backwards, it's only about a 50% chance you're going to get one." So for me, I'm thinking, oh gosh, am I in the safe zone? Am I going to get one? They opened the queue at 4 o'clock on the dot, and lo and behold, I managed to get one. I literally did not expect to walk out of there with one of these in my hand. I could not believe it. I'm so unbelievably happy, I can't even begin to tell you. It's a fantastic figure, as I shall shortly reveal to you. So worth it. I couldn't have been more perfect. I went to the Forbidden Planet booth at exactly the right moment. I asked exactly the right guy and I got in the queue when it was still very short. I mean, it just stretched on behind me. It was ridiculous. Right, so actually let's get on to the figure itself. Let's have a quick look at the box before we actually go inside. Got this fantastic artwork on the front. There's a black sticker down here. I haven't taken it off because I don't want to destroy the box, so I'm actually not sure what it's covering. As you can see, Kylo Ren and a First Order emblem there. I love the artwork on the front. Round the side, oh, you can see me in the camera, hello. Round the side, just very basic, but very elegant black, as is with, with all the Black series, just some very faint designs there. On the back, his helmet, warnings, a brief description, which, if you can read that, kudos to you. I don't know what I haven't actually bothered to read it. If you can read it, pause it and read it. I'm not going to bother reading it out today. Just a very nice box overall. I mean, we had to pack our suitcase so carefully so that these would transfer back or transport back in one piece. Very relieved to say mine did. Maybe just a couple of nicks here and there, but the box actually was more or less in one piece. Now, this is unlike most Black Series boxes in that it actually closes and opens with a Velcro along the side, so you can actually go inside and have a look at the figure. Got Darth Vader's mask there, and of course the man himself. An absolutely beautiful figure. The likeness is spot on, which I shall show you in just a moment. Lightsaber, helmet, two helmets, Kylo Ren helmet and the destroyed Darth Vader helmet, and then a First Order flag and stand. Absolutely spectacular box. I'm actually very reluctant to take mine out of the box. So actually, for this next bit, we're going to be using my fiance's because he did take his out of the box. So, jump cut while I get that set up. And we're back with this absolutely spectacular figure, which is off-center, but I really should have fixed that. Oh well. Just start out going quickly through the accessories. First and foremost, and probably most, I guess you could say important, is the destroyed Darth Vader helmet. It looks absolutely spectacular. The weathering on it is absolutely perfect. They've got the moulding and the sculpting perfect. If it wants to just focus, there you go. It looks like it just came straight out of the film. I mean, of course, it's a very difficult accessory to actually mess up if you've, got the original prop to actually mould it from. But the painting on it is superb. They've given it a very nice silver metallic finish, which gives it not only, of course, that that sort of shiny look that the Darth Vader helmet had, but it also gives the appearance, of course, of it having been burned, covered in ash and char and cinders and whatnot. So a very nice accessory. It doesn't do anything, it literally is just an accessory. Next accessory, of course, is Kylo Ren's helmet itself. Now, the really superb thing about this figure, in my opinion, is that it is actually two figures in one. You've got the unmasked figure itself, and you've got the helmet, which actually isn't an accessory, it's an interchangeable head. I'm not going to do it on camera because it takes quite a while to get them situated, and I'm actually a little bit worried about breaking it, just to be on the safe side. It won't break, but, me and my luck sometimes. So it means that you can actually have either Kylo Ren with or without his mask. Again, as I say, you get 2 figures in one. So actually, if you've got this figure, you don't even need to buy the original Black Series figure, because of course it's only got the mask. So very nice addition there. The figure itself, of course, being an exclusive and having a few sort of, extra bits and pieces, was of course more expensive than the normal figure. It was £10 more expensive, sort of thereabouts. I'll get to pricing and whatnot towards the end. But, as I say, given the fact that it is actually 2 figures in one, I think it's actually extremely good value in that sense. Given that the overall cost is actually less than what 2 separate Black Series figures would be. So, on that note, actually really good value, and a very nice figure at that. Of course, you've got the normal hilt. Very nicely detailed. I can't remember if the original figures actually came with a hilt or not. This is actually the first Kylo Ren figure I've ever had. Extremely good detailing. I'm sorry it's not showing up too well on the camera. It's having serious focusing issues today. Come on. Very nice detailing. Nice moulding. Nice bit of paintwork. And, of course, you get the lightsaber itself. So, just take that out of his hands if I can. Come on, you. Put him back there if he wants to stand. Come on, Kylo. There we go. Again, I think this is actually the normal saber that the other figures come with. Again, I'm not too sure about that, since, again, this is my first one. I'm sure someone else with another review probably knows. If not, Rebel Scum will certainly know. But again, very nice detailing on the hilt. Oh, please focus. There we go. Nice detailing on the hilt, nice detailing on the instability of the blade. I really need a new camera. My good gosh. There we go. Nice detailing on the blade. Just a very nice accessory. And of course, the figure himself. Now, the body for the most part is unchanged from past figures. This I actually do know because my fiance also happens to have the Starkiller base Kylo Ren figure, which is here for comparison. Now, the main difference between the Kylo Ren Starkiller base figure and the normal figure I do know was actually mostly just the detailing of the snow on the legs and the robes. I think he said there was some extra articulation or something. I can't remember for everything. But the one thing I do want to point out is that between the new Kylo Ren and the old one, there is so much more detailing in his robes. They've given him an actual texture on this cloak part, whereas here there's a little bit of a texture, but it's really just more plastic. This, you can see the detailing in the material, in the robes. You can see the tattered edges. They've done an absolutely superb job updating that. So in that sense, it really is actually an update from the normal figure itself. So we're going to put him aside for now. And of course, the head itself. I think it's a stunning likeness, and I think actually it took me a while to notice this, just even in the film itself, but especially when you get to see the figure up close like this, you can truly see, in my opinion, the resemblance between Kylo Ren and Han Solo, between Adam Driver and a young Harrison Ford. At first, I was a bit confused about the actor, but really, they actually do look a hell of a lot alike. And I always think it's funny that they gave Kylo Ren Anakin's hair from Episode 3, that sort of feathery type hair. I don't know what to call it. Don't really know what the hairstyle is called. But yes, they've done a superb job moulding the likeness of the face. I'm sorry my camera is just being an absolute nerf her today and choosing not to focus, but they've done a great job moulding the hair. There's not too much paintwork on the face, which is a little bit of an issue. It might have been nice to see, I don't know, some blush or some shadow here and there, but for a character like Kylo Ren, who is already fairly pale, you don't necessarily need it. Other than that, and also maybe a little bit of highlighting on the hair. The hair is literally just one colour, but again, it's a minor complaint and it does not detract from the overall figure. the rest of the figure itself is more or less the same as the original, or so I'm told. You've got the soft goods robes on top, you've got a layer of plastic underneath, and of course fully articulated legs. You've got ball jointed hips, what do you call it, swivel, is that swivel knees? Can't remember. Ball jointed ankles. Basically you've got everything that the standard size figures used to be before they went back to 5 points of articulation. Ball jointed elbows, ball jointed shoulders, swivel wrists, ball jointed head, ball jointed waist, fully articulated, fully posable. We haven't put him in any weird poses or anything yet, but for those who are diorama builders, for example, there is absolutely loads that you can do with this figure. Belt moulded separately. I believe you can actually take it off, and I think from what I've read you can, here we go, you can actually attach the new blade to his belt. The new hilt, rather, I should say, which I'm told wasn't actually possible on old figures, but you can on this one, which is always a very nice touch. So we'll just put him back here again. Stay, please. There we go. And then finally, of course, we have the special base, which is just a simple first order logo with a flag. I have found that the flag itself actually does slide off easily from the stand. It's not a big issue. In fact, it's even a good idea if, for example, you need to wash it for whatever reason. But just something to keep an eye out if you happen to be one of those people who moves your figures around a lot, just so the flag doesn't get lost. Other than that, that's about it for this figure. It's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful rendition of Kylo Ren, in my opinion. I would even go as far as saying this is the ultimate Kylo Ren figure. You get everything with him. You have both lightsabers, you've got a completely, separate and interchangeable helmet, you've got Darth Vader's helmet, got a fantastic first order base. If you were to get enough of these, you could even potentially create the decorations as on Starkiller base. I believe they're actually doing a 6-inch Hux at some point, so again, ideas for that. I mentioned pricing early. Oh! There we go. Stay. Right. As I was saying, I mentioned pricing earlier. Actually, at the show itself, we managed to get it for relatively speaking, a very good price. It was $32.99 at the show. Unfortunately, they are absolutely skyrocketing on eBay. The cheapest we've seen so far was £85 and climbing. No, you can just stay like that. My only advice to you on that front would be to either perhaps get to a show and hope that they're doing them. I don't know what shows are next. As I say, I think they were doing them at Comic-Con, which is now over. Or grab one on eBay while it's still under £100. I would say even for £85, it's worth it. I think it's an absolutely superb figure. I'm not even collecting the 6-inch Black Series, and I think it's a stunning figure to have. Even if you're not a fan of Kylo Ren, the accessories alone, I mean, again, especially if you're, diorama building or whatnot, the accessories alone just are perfect for, a number of scenes that you might make at a 6-inch scale. But again, above all, it is basically 2 figures in one. So by buying this, it would actually save you from having to get the normal Kylo Ren figure. And not only that, but you actually get the better details and the better sculpting and moulding on the new one than on the old one. I would even say that unless, you want the addition of, snow and the snowy base on the Starkiller base edition figure, you probably don't even need that. I'd say if you have to get one 6-inch Kylo, one Kylo even, get this, or try and get it, because you won't need another Kylo after this. It is the perfect Kylo Ren figure, and I cannot recommend it enough, and I'm so, so happy that we each managed to get one at Celebration Europe. On that note, though, thank you very much indeed for watching. I've got another video coming up showing my Celebration Europe haul as a whole. Click like, click subscribe if you haven't already. Plenty more videos to come. I've been Quair Chan, you've been amazing, and may the Force and Neimoidians be with you.